Imagine this. You're renovating your childhood home, tearing down an old outdoor shower, making room for something new. But as you dig into the ground, your shovel hits something hard. You think it's just a rock, maybe an old coconut. But when you pick it up, you realize it's a human skull. Now imagine that skull belongs to your mother. The mother who vanished over 20 years ago. This isn't just a nightmare. It's the true story of Aaron Fraser, a man who unknowingly uncovered the darkest secret buried in his past. A secret that led to the murder conviction of his own father. But how did Bonnie Haim disappear without a trace? Why did it take decades to solve the mystery? And what did little Aaron say all those years ago that might have cracked the case wide open if only someone had listened? This is the tragic case of Bonnie Haim and the shocking truth her son unearthed. On the outside, Michael and Bonnie Haim looked like the perfect couple. Living in Jacksonville, Florida, they had a young son, Aaron, and a seemingly normal life. Michael worked in the family's construction supply business, while Bonnie stayed busy raising their son. But behind closed doors, things weren't so perfect. Bonnie's friends knew she was unhappy. She had confided in them about her troubled marriage, about Michael's temper, and about how she wanted to leave. She was planning her escape, secretly saving money, making arrangements to take Aaron with her, and trying to start over. But Michael found out, and just days later, Bonnie Haim was gone. It was January 1993 when Bonnie disappeared. Michael claimed they had an argument that night. He said she walked out of the house alone, leaving behind her 3-year-old son. He told police she had simply driven off, never to return. But something didn't add up. The next day, Bonnie's purse was found inside a trash bin at a hotel near Jacksonville International Airport. Her car was abandoned in the airport parking lot. But Bonnie? She was nowhere to be found. Her family immediately suspected Michael. They knew she would never leave Aaron behind. But there was no body, no physical evidence, and no clear proof that a crime had even been committed. And then there was Aaron. At just 3 years old, Aaron Fraser couldn't fully understand what had happened. But he knew one thing: his mommy was gone. When investigators spoke to him, Aaron said something chilling. He told them, "Daddy hurt Mommy." He said, "Daddy shot Mommy." He even said, "Daddy put Mommy in timeout." But he was just a little boy, and at the time, his words weren't enough to prove anything. Without a body, without hard evidence, there was no case. Michael Haim walked free. Aaron, now left without his mother, was placed into foster care. Eventually, he was adopted and given a new life. For over 2 decades, Michael lived as a free man. Bonnie's family never stopped looking for answers, but it seemed like justice would never come until the day Aaron Fraser picked up a shovel. Fast forward to 2014. Aaron Fraser was now an adult, living his own life. But one thing connected him to his past: the house he had grown up in. After winning a wrongful death lawsuit against his father, Aaron was awarded his childhood home. Now, he was fixing it up, making it his own. But he had no idea what he was about to uncover. While demolishing an old outdoor shower behind the house, Aaron's shovel struck something hard. At first, he thought it was just debris, then maybe a coconut. But when he picked it up, he realized the horrifying truth. It wasn't a coconut. It was a skull. His mother's skull. In that moment, everything came rushing back. The unanswered questions, the strange memories, the words he had spoken as a child, but hadn't fully understood. Aaron had finally found his mother, and now, the truth could no longer be buried. With this shocking discovery, investigators reopened the case. DNA tests confirmed the remains were Bonnie Haim's. A medical examiner ruled it a homicide. Buried with her remains was a single bullet casing, a .22 caliber shell, the same type of ammunition that matched a rifle Michael Haim had owned. The case that had been cold for over 20 years suddenly had all the evidence it needed. In 2015, police arrested Michael Haim. He had been living a new life in North Carolina, but now his past had finally caught up with him. At trial, Prosecutors argued that Michael killed Bonnie to stop her from leaving with Aaron. The jury agreed. In 2019, Michael Haim was found guilty of second-degree murder. He was sentenced to life in prison. Justice, though delayed, had finally been served. Aaron Fraser's life was shaped by a tragedy he couldn't even remember. He lost his mother when he was just a toddler. He lost his entire biological family. He spent years in therapy, struggling with the pain of not knowing what had happened. And then, by sheer coincidence, or maybe fate, he found the answer himself. Finding his mother's remains gave him closure, but it also forced him to face a painful truth. The man who was supposed to protect him had been the one responsible for taking his mother away. For Bonnie's family, the pain of losing her will never fade. But knowing that justice was finally served brings some peace. This case is a reminder that the past is never truly buried, that the truth has a way of coming to light, even if it takes decades, and that sometimes, even in the darkest moments, a single discovery can change everything. Thank you for watching. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more true crime stories. And remember, some mysteries take years to solve, but the truth is always waiting to be found.